Hello everyone, welcome to the market snapshot for today. We had two different kind of markets, both for Indian equities and the US equities. We saw certain amount of strength from the Indian markets, wherein the Nifty 50 was almost 0.7% up and Nifty 500 was almost 0.6% up, whereas Nasdaq 100 was down by almost 1.5% and S&P 500 almost 0.2%. Let's look at the numbers. In the Indian context, this is Nifty 500. The advances were around 317 and the declines were 183, better than what it was the day in yesterday's session. For the new highs, we got around 90 new highs against 481 new lows. The breadth, I think the breadth has improved significantly again. We got around 324 stocks trading above 50 to above 20 MA, 304 stocks above 50 MA, and 278 stocks above 200 MA. If we look at the chart again looks better. I mean, if you see, like, again, like, it was almost a gap up today, but the fact with what I like over here is, like, I mean, it has formed a very good base around these levels. So now basically, if at all now, uh, the indices, the Nifty 50 gains some momentum, that could be trusted. It's not like a random thing. Like, if you see here, there was too much of movement here, too much of volatility, and that is the reason it couldn't sustain. Whereas here, I mean, there was a good momentum here followed by a good base here, and now, if Nifty 50 rises, mostly it should sustain. And the good part is, all these rises, all these bases are backed by the participation and breadth, so it makes it further more important, I would say. Nifty 500, much better looking chart, much better looking chart. um, Again, like, showing a lot of strength. There was a good rally from these levels followed by a good basing around these levels, and now it is trying to form certain momentum backed by the participation and breadth. So pretty good going for the Nifty 500 as well. Let's look at the trend, participation and breadth. For Nifty 50, the trend is bullish, trading above 50 MA, participation strong, breadth is strong. This is what I would want for Nifty to become consistent. The thing is, we are getting these things in Nifty 500, but it has been very inconsistent with Nifty 50. I just hope this sustains, and I think the markets for India will become good eventually. Nifty 500, trend is bullish, participation is strong, and the breadth is strong. Let's look at the US numbers. And this is S&P 500. We had around 304 advances to 196 declines, 25 new highs against 475 new lows. The breadth, I mean, I think this entire week, not only this week, I think from Thursday last week, the breadth has been very good for S&P 500. Almost 320 stocks above 20 MA, 314 stocks above 50 MA, and 306 stocks above 200 MA. Very good going, very consistent breadth. So I think the numbers are looking good for S&P 500. Let's look at the chart. Again, a good looking chart. Nothing wrong with the chart. Following the 50 MA mark. Very bullish looking chart. The only thing which is not favoring is the participation and breadth. It has been very consistent throughout the month of June. Nasdaq's breadth and participation was very inconsistent, and it has continued for the month of July as well. We'll see to it how this goes. S&P 500, again a very similar looking chart. The only difference between Nasdaq 100 and S&P 500, here the breadth and participation has been supporting about this rise. So maybe for my liking, I like this chart more just because there is a data to show this rise, and in case of Nasdaq it is not proving so. Russell 2000, again a very bullish chart. Participation, breadth have been consistent. So basically what is happening in the US market is, uh, I think, there is basically there is a rotation going on of the liquidity from large tech companies to, overall market, and that is the reason we see a lot of strength in S&P 500 and Russell 2000. On the contrary, Nasdaq's numbers are not supporting, although, the chart has been rising. So let's look at the trend participation breadth. For Nasdaq 100, it is bullish. Participation has a strong breadth mixed. Very similar story to Nifty. This is not becoming consistent. I mean, that is the biggest point of worry. For S&P 500, the trend is bullish. Participation is strong and the breadth is strong. Russell 2000, bullish, trading above 50 MA. Participation mixed and breadth is strong. For now, I mean, the strongest between the three is S&P 500, but I would say, I mean, even Russell 2000 is not looking bad. I mean, I think hardly I've seen this deteriorating, but then the breadth for both these indices have been very very consistent from last 7 to 8 trading sessions. So I think both these indices are looking good, and they are clearly pointing towards that. The liquidity now would be moving from concentrated tech to overall economy. The global macro picture, if we look at, so this is where things get very tight for the US market. The yields are rising, which is not a very good news for the equities. It is at 4.49. They face a very strong resistance at around 4.60 levels. That like if somehow the yields they can remain below 4.60, I think that's good news for equities. But then if that breaks out, then we are looking for a lot of uh, I think liquidity squeeze in the US market. Same is the story with dollar. A rising dollar is not supportive of the equities market, and maybe that is the reason we are not seeing consistent participation and breadth from the Nasdaq 100 any which ways remains the strongest indicator for the US markets, and I would say as a whole to the world economy itself, because that is where the largest tech companies, largest amount of liquidity lies. So these two are not supportive of what is happening in the US market at the moment. So I think that is the time, that is the reason we should remain a little cautious about how we are planning our trades in the US markets. VIX, I think pretty good, pretty stable around 16.74. Bitcoin 61202, again below 50 MA. I think this today is the second session wherein they're rising. Gold at 4062, again below 50 MA. For gold too, this is the second session where they are rising. Let's look at the chart, dollar chart. This is what I'm saying. Like so much of strength in dollar, a rising dollar is not good for equities, and this is very contradictory to what is happening in the US market. And I think the liquidity is already squeezing. That is the reason we have already seen Nasdaq not performing, and eventually it will reflect in coming sometime in S&P 500 and Russell 2000. For Bitcoin, very good shorting opportunities, but last two trading sessions, there has been a strength. This is the second session wherein it is showing rise. Maybe there are very good opportunities for short-term intraday. You can look for long and short both. Gold, very similar looking chart, very good shorting opportunities. Intraday, you have ample of opportunities for long and short. Overall, I mean, the Indian markets are looking good. You can look for opportunities in small cap, mid cap. US market, I think conservatively I would trade S&P 500 and Russell 2000, Nasdaq 100. I'm for now it is wait and watch for me, and I think it looks pretty tight to me. I think the best would be to remain little cautious about the US markets. Uh, Rest, if you want to try maybe gold or Bitcoin, there are ample of opportunities right now. It is trending both the ways. Like we had very good opportunities till the day before yesterday for shorting, and I think from yesterday we are getting a good opportunities for long. So yeah, there are ample of opportunities here and there in the market. Try to utilize whatever you can. Yes, that's everything from now from my side. Hope you all found this useful. Thank you so much and have a good one. See you next time.